So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. And I want you to take your moment and watch the Ugandan lady who wants to be the next 2026 election. She wants to be on the ballot. She wants to be the president of the Republic of Uganda. So I want you to compare how they give their manifesto and how Kenyan politicians give their manifesto to the people. So take time and watch this video.
I'm going to speak in English. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for coming today. My name is Queen Dorothy Amolo. I invited you here because I want to stand for president of Uganda. I am officially declaring my intention to run for president in 2026. And I'm going to do this under the NRM party. As an NRM cadre, I believe that running away is not the solution. There's a lot to be done under NRM, and there is a lot to be done at a country level. The reason why I called you today is because it's either today or never. And I want to ask every Ugandan out there that you have to come out and be counted. Our country needs saving. To save this country, it's going to be a responsibility of every citizen. Each one must raise their hand and be counted if we need change. I look forward to running with President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni in the primaries of NRM. These are the things I'm going to do when I'm elected president. First of all, there must be a complete overhaul of the electoral system. There must be demonetization of the electoral process. I will introduce a true transparency, a clear process of elections, so that we elect leaders that are capable of representing the people, not leaders being pushed, not leaders that are going through because a few members are interested in these leaders. I want all the leaders to be elected based on their capacities. I am going to introduce something called split voting. The way I translate my split voting is a more transparent way. You vote, you receive a receipt that shows exactly who you voted for, the polling station at the time that you voted, so that at the end of the day there is accountability. As much as we need a secret ballot, we must add transparency, fairness to our secrecy. In the next several months, I am going to, step by step, unfold my programs. When I am elected president of the Republic of Uganda, I will build the most elite army that the world has ever seen. And when I say the most elite army, I mean elite. The most complicated military. And I will unpack this in the next several months. When I am elected president, I will introduce industrialization in every parish. I will make sure that the people, we have been told that subsistence farming is the best option because we are all farmers, but we don't have to remain farmers. We don't have to die farmers. A farmer must not give birth to a farmer and then have grandchildren that are farmers. That's why I am saying industrialization is the way to go, not agriculture. I will turn the country from agriculture to industrialized economy. Ladies and gentlemen, we all understand that we have a problem with our healthcare system. We have a problem with our education system. I am proud of who I am. I'm not saying education system of Uganda is the worst. I am saying a lot of things need to change. We're not going to be studying things of long time ago. Most people we are studying today died a long time ago. Their grandfathers died. All their great friends died. Why do we need to study those people? It's part of history. But if we're saying we're studying history, it must be history that is relevant. If we're studying chemistry, it must be chemistry that is relevant. And I'm not saying that we need to specialize. I am a product of Uganda's education system. I am proud of it.
So, in Africa, I think the problem we have with our leaders, before they get to power, they have sense. Once they get to power, no sense. Kuna mashetani kwa power. Because how can this lady speak sense? And for instance, I know when before Museveni was elected, he used to speak sense. He used to talk about, we have to free Africa. We have to unite Africans. We need to fight against invaders who have harbored the economy of Uganda and Ugandans. And people were like, this is the kind of leader that we need. Yeah. But for instance, any leader who has sense in Africa is being murdered. Muammar Gaddafi was murdered. They painted a very wrong picture about Idi Amin. Yeah. Okay, now, we have leaders like she, who has spoken really good and talking about military being elite. She's going to make one of the best militaries in the world. Yeah. My question is, why do we need the militaries? Because we need to be aware invaders might come, and if we don't have well-trained and specialized defensive forces, the invaders will softly come and take over our country's affairs, harbor our economy, and put us off down. You see? Now, industrializing agriculture. Look at this. We need to be very careful when you talk about industrializing agriculture, because you might put a system in your country which at the end of the day it has a negative impact in future, in times to come. Because what am I saying this? We have so many things that I've seen in Kenya. We are talking about free education, but for instance, listen, do we really have free education? Who started the game? The late President Emilio Mwai Kibaki. Free education, but vitu zikapanda. Mnaelewa? That is the system. The system is, go to school, tawalipia pesa fulani, but tutapandisha vitu. Yeah, so ni wewe tu, ni kama kuchukua 50 upatie huyu upatie yule, mulipe madeni na 50 moja, but there's no productivity. You understand? Yeah. So before we conclude on what this lady said, Ugandans, this is your point. Be very careful when you talk about industrializing agriculture. Yeah. We need a very good system that is going to, at the end of the day, bring good result. And itaendelea hivyo. You see? Because now look at Kenya. Kenya, we have a rural urban migration yenye very high rate, sindio? Now nobody is at home to dig. Unaona? So therefore, as long as I live in the city, I have to wait for some food to come from Uganda, South Africa, Tanzania, Ethiopia, Russia, for me to live a better life in Nairobi, Eldoret, Mombasa, and Kisumu. Unaelewa? Now, when we talk about the systems, because I think in Africa, not in Africa, in the world, everything is run by a system. Even if it is a company, they have to develop a certain system that cohesively work together to produce a certain result. Now, we talk about education system. In Kenya, we produce employees. Where is work? No work. Therefore, we need to complain about job, lack of employment. Yeah. Now in Uganda, the same case applied. We are studying a lot of long time information. Charles Darwin in 18 what? We are living in a new era where things which are happening in this new era, they're totally different and they need a different approach. You see? Now, when you go to school, you have to study River Nile. River Nile is coming from Lake Victoria to Indian Ocean. Yes? Yeah. Wasongiro is traveling all the way through Narok all the way to Lake Victoria. Yala is the largest river in Kenya. So, tunajua hiyo. Tufanye nini baba? Hakuna. Unaona? Kuna wengine walisoma vitu zingine, they are not helpful, you see. Okay, now we need to understand government system. The government system says this: whatever goes around comes around. Yani wakikupea pesa, ni chama tu fulani, si ndio? Inaitwa political class. Wanakuja wanakudanganya, wanakuambia tutatenga hivi. But their aim kujenga hiyo barabara, kuna shamba amenunua hapo, and therefore kuna kampuni anaweka hapo, anakuja kuleta vitu zake hapo. That's why they need a road in that place. Or else, if hakuna biashara yake huko, there's no need of the roads in such kind of areas. You see, so we need to look at the government system, education system, employment system, healthy system, and even digestion system. People need to know what they're eating, because what you eat, that is what you become. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us be very careful before we talk about, oh, these leaders good, the speeches they're giving. You see, the promises they're giving, they're good promises, but then the question is, which kind of design do we want our country to look like? How do we want this Kenya, this Uganda, this Africa to look like? Because right now, South Africa are complaining, Nigeria complaining over what? Politicians. You see, so why should we be complaining about politicians when we are the one to decide who to lead us and who not to lead us? The Constitution says the sovereignty power belongs to the people and the supremacy belongs to the Constitution. And the politicians say we have to protect the law, the rule of law, but not to protect the sovereignty of the people. But when they're campaigning, they say, I am working for the people. You see, those lies does not coincide anywhere to produce anything good. So we need to wake up as Africans, because we need to remember this. We are the Africans, and we are the one who knows how we want this Africa to be painted. We are the ones to decide to destroy it or to make it. And if we are in for making Africa work for us, then we are the ones to decide on how to make it work for us. If we are the exclusive, no one is going to make Africa other than invaders. And then when invaders come, they're going to take our resources, and we will work for them, and our generation to generation will keep wallowing and suffering in ignorance and not knowing what to do and what not to do to liberate themselves. So do not make a mistake that will lead our children to fighting against invaders or fighting against the mistakes we are about to make now. Let's make right decisions for the progress of Africa. Thank you for watching, guys, and see you in the next video.